Um, Interesting. All right, yeah, we're live. It is such a pleasant, weather-wise, very pleasant day here in NYC. Um, God, it's like it's this is a summer day to me. There's a breeze. It's not quite 80 degrees outside. Wow, I'm just now getting familiar with. Good morning, Joseph. I'm getting familiar with the lighting. Oh, there's a lighting setting. What is this setting? Never mind. Oh wow. Okay. Waiting to go to London. Hey, Jenny Blitz. Yeah, sure. I'll go to London, man. All right, there we go. I usually do this vertically. I hold the phone vertically, but I keep hearing that more and more people are tuning into YouTube content on their television, which I think is great. I watch a fair amount of YouTube content on my television, so it only makes sense. Let's see. Really, God, you know what, guys? Every day with the Trump shit show. Every day. And I'm kind of bored with it. Not bored with it. That sounds like that kind of makes it sound like I don't care, and that couldn't be further from the truth. It's not about that. It's more about I just want the Epstein shit to blow him up so hard. Also, I have a theory about the Epstein thing, and then I'm going to move on because I don't want to dwell on this because it's just commandeered so much of our lives. But I have a theory about the Epstein thing, in particular, using the iPad for TV. I need a big screen, Jenny. I need, especially when in fact, I might be upgrading to a huge, even bigger television and putting the one I'm currently using into my bedroom. Because the television I currently have, I bought from my tiny, tiny studio apartment down the hall from where I am. And it was perfect for that. It was the right size because I would watch the TV from like literally 5-6 feet away. Where I am now, it's a little different, and I need something bigger. And I love a big ass screen. So anyway, my theory about this Trump revelation of the Jeffrey Epstein birthday card from Wall Street Journal is that Rupert Murdoch doesn't fuck around. And I get that, like Kara Swisher was talking about this on Pivot today. Rupert doesn't fuck around and would not, and he's been, unlike Bezos with the with Washington Post, Murdoch's been a very good owner at Wall Street Journal. The Post, that's really kind of him. It feels like Fox News, he's kind of not really in control of that in a way. Or, I don't know, but Wall Street Journal, not the opinion page, I mean the reporting. Like in terms of what stories they will publish, they really kind of go through journalistic rigors and would not have released or would not have published that story about the birthday card if they didn't have receipts. And I have a theory that, and I could be wrong, and I often am, but I have a theory that that the birthday card story is kind of just the tip of the iceberg. Like there's more. And Rupert's really just kind of like really fucking sick of this guy and can't control him. And Rupert wants a Republican Party he can control. And Trump is not that. J.D. Vance will be much easier. All right, this one's not paying attention. Lenore, don't. She's bringing her dog too close to me. There is so much more. Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the thing. Like this, more than any other scandal, quote unquote scandal, this one really has Schittler up in arms. So happy subscriber to the Wall Street Journal, actually. Thank you, Bill Kelly. Hope you're well too. All is well here. Thank you for asking. So stay tuned to the Wall Street Journal. They seem to have a tip on this. People give me shit all the time, like, why would you subscribe to the Wall Street Journal? The reporting is good, not the opinion page. You know what you're getting there. It's not about that. It's about, same with the New York Times, usually. I just canceled my subscription to the Times of London and the Sunday Times because I was a little oversubscribed, number one. Number two, I just wasn't tuning in, wasn't using it. Let's see, Josh, love the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, I think the Wall Street Journal is like kind of a standard. So is the New York Times. Washington Post was. I know there are still people that are doing really good work at the Washington Post. I choose not to subscribe. But my go-tos in the morning are New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, Financial Times, The Guardian. I will often open Flipboard and just look at all of them. Bondi's meeting with Maxwell. Thoughts on that? Ghislaine Maxwell? No thoughts on that. I don't want to even think about that. All right, guys, why are you walking your dog close to my dog? Why do people do this? Why do people do this? Don't. Anyway, did I already talk about Capehart leaving the Post? No, and I'm proud of Jonathan. I talked with him yesterday. I'm not surprised at all that Jonathan Capehart has left the Washington Post. I'm only surprised that he didn't do it sooner. But I think Jonathan seems to be in a really good place about it. So, kind of no product in my hair. It's bedhead, yo. The loss of Capehart at the Post is sad. Yes, it is. Some of the staple newspapers here in the UK have lost their way. But Josh, I like The Guardian. I don't know. I think The Guardian and their app, The Guardian's investment in its digital presence is outstanding. I think The Guardian does a great job. And I love, of all of the news publications and their apps, The Guardian is among my favorite. Even more than the Financial Times, which is fucking expensive. God. And the Financial Times needs to loosen up the sphincter police when you post to social media and let people read it. The Guardian is good. I think they do a great job. And I also like the Times of London. I just don't live there. I feel like the Times of London is a much more UK-centric outlet. And that's great. It's great. It's a legacy sort of book over there. And I'm not getting anything, even in their US edition, which is great. There's just too much overlap. I'm already getting the reporting that I need from Wall Street Journal. I'm not getting anything special or new. Wired, great. Malcolm Jamal Warner, yeah, I know. The Wired is doing a great job with politics. Wired is doing a really good job with politics. Really good. Did you guys read Jonathan Capehart's book, by the way? Get his book. Oh, let's see, what else? Lenore says hi. Look at her. Lenore, are you going to say hi to everybody? Your baby girl. Who's my little bunny? Who is my bunny? Look at the bunny. Look at the bunny. Hi. Look at the bunny. And I love NPR. I love National Public Radio, APM, American Public Media. Support it all, y'all. Support your local public station. WNYC is mine. Cleveland has it's not WCPN anymore. I think it's something else. Used to be, I don't know what the fuck it is. Yeah. BUR in Boston. HYY, Chicago. Yeah, support your public radio. I love that shit. The best. George, we sort of grew up with Mr. Warner. Sad. Yeah, he was a huge part of the Cosby Show, and we loved the Cosby Show until we learned about Bill Cosby. I got you into Heather Cox Richardson. Good. She is solid. I envy the kids at Boston College who get to take her class. I went to Boston College. I didn't get to take her class. I think she's so fucking smart. So glad Scott finally discovered her, Galloway. He'll have her on again. She's a smart cookie, that one. My go-to in the morning, the first thing I do actually is listen to NPR's Up First podcast. That is my go-to in the morning. Up First on NPR. And then in WNYC, which is literally like a 13 to 15 minute like digest of the like 3 biggest stories of the day. And then WNYC, our local, does their 5-minute sort of WNYC Now, I think it's called. And I follow up with that. And then usually there is something else up that day, like the Prof G pod will have like markets I'll listen to. That's a different show. Prof G Markets on Monday, whenever Scott's on. On with Kara Swisher. The Daily, what am I talking about? The New York Times, The Daily is just the best. Right? Michael Barbaro. What else? Other podcasts I love. Even though it's a radio show, I love Marketplace with Kai Ryssdal, which is on at 6:30 here in this market. Kai Ryssdal. I'm Kai Ryssdal and I love markets. Kai Ryssdal. He's such a guy. Kai Ryssdal. Kai Ryssdal. Morning edition, of course. And in the afternoon, All Things Considered. Depending on what I'm doing on a given day, I will turn to All Things Considered, which I think starts at 4:30, if not 5 o'clock. All Things Considered. Give that an hour of your life and you are going to be very well informed, and a lot of nuance and culture. It's not just news and politics, it's also culture and arts and business and, what's going on in the country. I love All Things Considered. Morning edition too, of course, duh. NPR, man, support your public radio station. Fuck Trump. I can't wait till this asshole's out of our lives. And to quote Stephen Colbert, Trump can go fuck himself. I'm so glad someone of Colbert's stature finally used those very words. And he can finally say, go fuck himself, because what are they going to do, fire him? They already did. And the Robin Bird show. Pivot was great today. Yeah, I'm almost done. Trump situation is related to the heart. Speaking of BP. Hopefully. Ladies at Seneca Project and Mary Trump are excellent. I love Mary. I love Mary Trump. She's a pal. Got to brew a coffee with newspapers in the morning. Quite the ritual. Nice. Look, as long as you've got your rituals. On Sundays, I like to get the Financial Times in print, even though I subscribe to the digital. Oddly, the newsstand, my local newsstand on the street corner, doesn't have FT. I have to go to a bodega on 83rd and Columbus, and they stock a few copies of the FT on Sundays, and I grab it there. FT Weekend is fabulous, like the Wall Street Journal on the weekend. WSJ Magazine, fabulous. Sunday Times, fabulous. Yeah. I'm a news junkie. I wasn't always a news junkie. I've kind of become one. That's it. I am off today. This afternoon, I am going up to the Animal Care and Control, Animal Care and Control, ACC, New York ACC, to check out the facility. I'm not going to adopt a dog, as much as I want to take home all of them. Because New York's ACC is at capacity, and I am going to try to help with some social media content, enhance some awareness, get people to adopt. I love the fact that people are seeing Superman and are now inspired to adopt because of crypto. Crypto is based on writer-director James Gunn's dog, which is hilarious. If you follow James Gunn or are you looking at the Superman or DC Instagram content, James Gunn has shared content about his dog. I forget his dog's name is like Udo or something, or does anybody remember what's James Gunn's dog's name? It's got that same floppy, fucked up ear. Like, I love it. I love it. Some great IG on that. Yes. I think people should go adopt a dog. Although I was sad to see in the time. Ozu. Thank you, Barbara. Ozu. I knew it was a small three-letter. Phlegm. Sorry, gross. Did you know that if 6% of people who take home a dog, let's see, I'm going to see Superman today, matinee. Oh, good for you, IMAX. That'll be a good show, Ann. Century City, enjoy. If 6% of the people who get a dog went to a shelter instead of a breeder, we could clean out shelters. Of all the people getting dogs, if 6% of them adopted instead of shopped at a breeder or a pet store, we wouldn't be in this shit show. So anyway, I'm gonna go do my bit this afternoon to try to help out because I love what New York Animal Care and Control Center does. Anyway, that's it. And then I'm gonna go to Barnes & Noble and pick up a book on Rolex because I'm so inspired by the company culture, not just because of the watch, but just what it says and does about precision and excellence and, of course, time. Does ACC do a background check? I do not know. I will find all of that out this afternoon. But you can go to their website and find out. And again, I keep referring people to this great episode of Acquired. They did the 5-hour deep dive on Rolex. I listened to it again, not the whole thing, just like a piece of it last night. He said there's no such thing as a phrase you never hear is former Rolex employee. In all the research, one of the hosts said he only found one. Apparently it's a great company to work for. So if you work for Rolex, good for you. Seems like you're with an outstanding company. Anyway, that's it. America doesn't really have an equivalent. Apple. Apple, well, a lot of former Apple employees. Love you from British Columbia. Hi there. Do I feel a Rolex coming on? I'm very happy with my Tudor Black Bay. Very happy with it. I mean, it is essentially a Rolex company. My next, if I get a windfall or if I get a crazy bonus or if my next watch and my last watch would be a Rolex Submariner. And then I'm done. Daytonas are too busy. Like, I'm not into race cars. If I were into racing, like Paul Newman, who made the Daytona famous, I would consider a Daytona. I mean, the Daytonas are fabulous, but I am a Rolex Mariner whore. That would be my next and last watch. That's it. Because it's a watch you could just like jump in the pool and then jump in the shower, put on a suit or a tuxedo, and you're still great. Like, it just works for everything. A Datejust? No. Good question though, Josh. I'm not a fan of the Datejust. I don't need to know what date it is. They just voted to subpoena Maxwell. Oh gosh, all right. Hilly, like your style. Thank you. All right, I gotta go look into this Maxwell thing. I'm getting news briefs in the comments because I'm trying to enjoy a podcast, even though I'm a news junkie. I'm listening to Pivot. All right, I love the Tudor. I do too. Tudor does a great job. Tudor has its own factory. Tudor makes its own movements now. This Tudor has its own in-house movement. Tudor's a fantastic company also. Anyway, sorry. No need to apologize. Anyway, I am going to log off here. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you guys for contributing. Go to georgehahn.com/support if you like to support the George Hahn Show. This is just one extension of the George Hahn Show. If I can model myself as a business like the Rolex, because Rolex only does, and I'm obsessed with this obviously, Rolex only does watches. They have not diversified into like accessories or luggage or sunglasses or even t-shirts. Rolex just does watches. Manual, mechanical watches. That's it. It's amazing. Anyway, I love you guys. See you later.